Welcome back. In this morning's Transparency Tracker, a group digging into government spending is looking at how Maine city budgets have increased over the last 5 years.
Jeremy Portnoy of Open the Books joins us now live with a breakdown. And Jeremy, how has the Portland budget changed over the past few years?
Well, this budget that the city just passed this week calls for $528 million of spending between the city and the school. So we went back, we pulled the budget books from the last 5 years. We found that back in 2021, that number was only $377 million. So in the last 5 years, that means it's increased by 40%, which is much faster than inflation. And that time, inflation was only 24%. And Portland's population hasn't changed that much. It's only been a very slight increase in that time. So it's tough to explain the increased spending.
Now, is that similar to other Maine cities?
It actually is pretty similar, which surprised me personally when I was looking through this, because that's not normal for it to increase that much looking around the rest of the country. But in Maine, Auburn's budget increased by 40% over the last 5 years. Lewiston's budget increased by 33%. South Portland, we looked at only the city, not the school district, because their budget's a bit different. But the city budget increased by 49%. So we're seeing sharp increases across the board.
And what accounts for the spending increases?
In Portland and Auburn, a lot of it's debt service, right? That's increased. Portland spent $45 million in 2021 paying off its debt. Next year, they plan to spend $60 million. And Auburn, it more than doubled from $11 million to $24 million. Lewiston actually got it down. They're spending slightly less next year on debt service than they were in 2021. So it is doable. And then the payroll as well has increased. Portland, back in 2021, had 39 people making six figures. Now there's at least 140, possibly more, because they still haven't sent us all their payroll data.
Okay, Jeremy, last question for you. What solutions have been proposed?
A lot of the solutions have involved the state increasing spending to help the cities, right? There's two bills right now in the legislature. One of them would raise the share of general assistance that the state gives to the cities, change that from 70% reimbursement to 90%. There's also an idea for the state to share 6% of its tax revenue with the cities instead of 5%. And we're seeing similar situations across the country, right? Los Angeles has a $1 billion budget deficit. They want California to bail them out, even though California, the state, has its own budget deficit, just like the state of Maine is dealing with. So even if these cities get bailed out this year, that's still not a long-term solution to decrease the spending and stop these budgets from increasing faster than taxpayers can really keep pace with.
All right, Jeremy Portnoy from Open the Books, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.